Hello again, back with part two of my 1983 Honda CB650 Nighthawk Bobber. Made quite a bit of progress. Um, Before I didn't have a seat or a headlight. The tank hadn't been painted, but now as you can see now, I'll start with the tank. I used I think it's Duplicolor paint shop paint. It's ready to spray out of any HV gun or any gun actually. I went with 10 coats. I got about 10 coats out of that quart can on the tank and fender, with about 8 to 10 coats of clear. I don't remember, but wet sanded, buffed it out, polished it. It's not perfect, but for my first time, I was happy. There's a little bit of light scratches still in there. I could probably buff it more, but I need to get a better buffer. I don't want to burn through my my clear coat into the paint with the crappy tools that I have. So I'm happy for it now. With it now, I should say. I may go back later and buff it more. The seat I got off of eBay. Again, I guess I'm happy with it. The mounting though, somebody had questioned the mounting. I ended up having to drill through the side of the frame. Not the ideal situation, but I plan on getting a bolt with threads all the way through so I can put a bolt on the other side here and cinch it down. Hopefully to secure it even more on each side to make up for that hole in the frame. It came with a 3-inch spring, but that was way too high for the ride. So I ended up selling those back on eBay and getting a 2-inch spring, which seemed to suit the frame really well in the ride. The only thing is where it sits, there's no space, so I can't have it sitting on the frame here, if you can see. So I'm going to have to weld a piece here or screw a piece, whatever I want to do. This is just, I don't know if I'm going to use this piece or not, but I need to get a piece of sheet metal, or regular metal, and either tack it or weld it down for the spring to sit on. Let's see, got a new headlight, and I ended up having to get a headlight bracket too, these headlight brackets, because the stock mounts made the light way too high. It looked kind of dorky because it sat too high, but these are perfect. They mount right to the fork tube. It's like a flat black color, which goes right along with the bike. Duplicolor didn't have a flat black paint, so I had to go with jet black with a matte clear coat. And I read some reviews on it, and it says it may get a little bit more flat in time, but I got a pretty good gloss coat on there now, I mean with polish and whatnot, but hopefully it'll get a little bit more flat black in time, because that's a little bit more glossy than I wanted. But again, I'm happy with the Duplicolor product in general. As you can see, I've got a mess of wires here. Just today, finally, I got it to crank over. Here's some of the wires that I completely took off. Those are part of the gear shift sensors and stuff like that I don't have the original instrument cluster here, which would have shown what gear you were in. All the lights that were on there is gone. So that's some of the wiring that was unneeded, unused. I'm sure I'll have more out of this mess, but initially I was only able to get all the lights working: headlight, high and low, brake light, the running light, and the brake engaged light, and then all the turn signals and the speedometer light. I couldn't get it to crank over, so I started looking at some other wiring diagrams online, what they did, and I was able to figure it out. Part of the problem was I had an older battery. I had bought the battery when I bought the bike 6 years ago, and I just didn't put out the amperage, so I got a new battery and hooked everything back up. and still wouldn't start. But I remembered that I had this my clutch switch. This was engaged when you pull the clutch lever in, so it's for safety. Obviously, you don't want to start the bike with it in first gear because it'll take off. I forgot about that, so I pressed it in and hit start again, and it turned over. So I was like, yes. I mean, I was dealing with it for about a week and a half, trying to get this to turn over, and it's little things like that that you got to take in consideration in wiring. That, you know, without this engaged, it's going to completely disable this whole fuse starter solenoid switch. So if you go to tackle wiring yourself, I mean, obviously have your shop manual with your stock wiring harness and a few ideas of some other, like these are things you can find online. This is from Evan Fell and some other ones. I mean, there's a ton of them if you just Google it, a wiring harness. But it's a trial and error. That's all you got to do is get in here and have a meter and have a basic understanding of what you're looking for, what you're trying to accomplish, and you can do it. And a good battery, by the way. So there it is. It's still a progress. I'm hoping to get it completely fired up this weekend. Now that I have the tank done, I got to finalize running the wires and getting the fuel lines in and some of the other air lines and whatnot. But I'm happy with the progress, happy with the look. Any questions? Again, post them on the video, and hopefully I've helped you with your project or you like mine. Thanks.